Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hello, welcome to Chicago. There's that crazy fire escape here. We get behind the 400 Lakeview building, Chicago, Illinois, United States, America, planet Earth. We got March the 5th, 2026. Got 12 o'clock in the p.m. We're just past the noon hour. Let me turn on the cameras there. So we're crossing Lakeview. I'm working from home today. It's the zoo. I'm just going to tootle through the zoo. See if we can maintain a connection here. There's the hey, look at that. No, we got the walk here. See the cars run me over. How you doing? Appreciate it. Get across here. And hey, Sabrina Suburban Garden. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm still in Lincoln Park here. I'm working from home today, so we'll just head over to the zoo. I expect we'll have a small audience, probably like 30 people tuning in, which is fine. That's perfect. Sometimes it was great. I was very appreciative that we had 400 people watching this morning on TikTok. But sometimes a smaller, more well-known audience like the Lunch Bunch here is better. There, Eric, how you doing? Wayne, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Lunch Bunch, thanks for being part of the Lunch Bunch here. So it's about 42 degrees, we'll say. That's not too bad. Like what I always say, any day above freezing, it's a good day. 345 Fullerton, that's these, I call them the Twin Towers. I know it's not the Twin Towers in New York, these much shorter residential towers. But they got nice Juliet balconies that people open up in the summertime. I'm sure they got nice views. Pete, how you doing? How's it going in Hazlitt? Yeah, we got just kind of overcast, damp day, but hey, tomorrow's looking like it might get up in the 50s. I saw 60s for the weekend potentially. I know it's going to rain. I saw some 70s by Monday, so this mild weather continues. 2340 Commonwealth, that's where we're at here. They got the nice courtyard apartment buildings here. Yeah, Prince, how you doing? James, Michael Rodriguez, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sherry, yeah, bikini weather. We'll go to the beach. Yeah, well, I wish we could have this weather for St. Patrick's Day party weekend, but it'll probably be in the 50s or 40s. But it's looking good for the Iditarod. So I know I'm an old Gen X wannabe hippie, born too late, born too soon, just like the Violent Femme song. But they're doing the Iditarod on Saturday. I've been covering it the past couple of years, live streaming it. We'll probably do it on TikTok. It'll be on Saturday, 12:30 start time. That's the most fun time to watch. If you want to watch it live this Saturday, 12:30, it looks like it's going to be a warm weather day, so I'm sure the teams of participants that dress up in themed costumes and race around the shopping carts around the northwestern side of the city there, Wicker Park and Westtown, Ukrainian Village, and West Loop, will enjoy that nice weather and people will be excited. They go bar to bar. It's all for a good cause. They raise money for the local food banks. It's called the Iditarod. It's a play off the Iditarod, which is of course in Alaska, where they mush and race around the dog sled teams. This is humans pulling the shopping cart. They beat most. You just watch my reruns from last year, beginning of March, and I think I posted a promo about a week ago showing the crowds, the crows. They were counting crows. That was, several teams were crows last year. The Ravens, they were Edgar Allan Poe kind of themed. And it was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. They descended upon the Iditarod and we had a good time. But here if you just joined me in Chicago, we're heading over towards the Lincoln Park Zoo. And people know when I work from home, a lot of times at lunchtime we'll head over to the Lincoln Park Zoo. It's a free zoo. People are like, why do you go to the zoo all the time? It's free, it's an easy. I like the animals. I know not everybody likes zoos, but different strokes for different folks. If you don't like this, watch something else. I don't want people watching and complaining. Just change the channel. Go watch the war. Go watch the war if you're so worried about humans killing each other for world domination. Here's, hey, the Belton Stratford It's all for a good cause, right? Here's 325. This is Belden. We're on Belden. This is called the Belden Stratford. And we'll head over to Lincoln Park West because we're going to Lincoln Park. We're going to the Lincoln Park Zoo. See Lincoln Logs. Land of Lincoln. Yeah, Lambie T's tuning in. Wes, good afternoon. How you doing to Carolyn? Yeah, howdy, GMJ. Sherry. Yeah, you said, yeah, I saw that. It's good. Yeah, good afternoon here. Hey, we got 41 people. Hey, it's more than I expected. That's great. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go check out the zoo. 1206 Lincoln Park. But I actually got some work done this morning. I'm working on some interesting plans. Make no small plans. And yeah, this is a really nice apartment block here. Look at that car go through. This is Lincoln Park West in Belden. And there's the Mon Ami Gabi restaurant. Hey, the Billy Shakespeare statue. We'll head by William Shakespeare. Yeah, okay, so March the 5th. March the 5th, we're on Flower Watch. And maybe a month from now, we'll start to see the tulips coming out of the bulbs there on Michigan Avenue. I don't want to see them yet. It's too soon. We're going to get another snow, I got a feeling. Here's Billy Shakespeare statue, Lincoln Park. See right by the Belden Stratford there. Nice residential housing. Very expensive. Yeah, Wes and Michael. ECG, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, you hear the birds? So yeah, these little blue flowers will start popping up here. We'll be on spring flower watch. The grass has not turned green yet. It's this mucky brown from being dormant all winter, but usually by St. Patrick's Day, probably by next weekend, the grass will start greening up, especially if we get a week of 60s and 70s. Here, I'll go quiet here. Well, I don't think they're there. We'll head through here. Hey, here's the geese standing on one leg. So the geese are eating the grass. This is the lawn in front of the Lincoln Park Conservatory. How you doing there, geese? Oh, you're stretching out the wings. Yeah, you got a mouthful of grass. How you doing here, geese? Welcome to Lincoln Park. Honkers are out. Yeah, eat the grass. We can have your snow for tonight. You, Barbara, you got snow? Yeah, everybody's like, where's the snow? Like, I don't know. Yeah, we haven't had snow since January. Maybe the beginning of February there were some remnants. Naya Papaya, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's head to the zoo. So I'll stick on the path, and my feet will get muddy if we go in there. It's all wet and mucky today. There's people jogging. So this is Stockton. We're near Webster. Lincoln Park, there's the fountain. You got these benches. John and Kerma Carolee. Yeah, you can, Rutenberg, you can donate, families donate money for these benches. Yours keeps on coming, yeah. What are you in New England? Where you at? Thanks for Canada. Yeah, thanks for tuning in here. Maybe you're in the mountains. You don't have to say, I appreciate it. Somebody's getting snow. We got 42 degrees. No snow in the forecast. We have, it could probably get to 50, maybe 60 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. And like I said, I saw two days of 70s, Monday and Tuesday next week. That'll be nice. Very mild weather for this time of the year. Usually we got, March is firmly with the winter months in Chicago. Make no mistake. Even April sometimes can be really cold. I remember like April getting snow. when the trees are trying to bud out. Here's Lincoln Park in Chicago. Yeah, Tombot, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Denise. Yeah. Yeah, LAU N-D-R-A. Landra Joan. We're glitching. Am I glitching for anybody else? Is it on my end or your end? Sometimes it's on my end, sometimes it's on your end. I feel less pressure on YouTube because our audience is much smaller here all of a sudden. We used to get really large audiences on YouTube, but somehow I ruined the algorithm. I take full responsibility. It's all my fault. But, now that I'm on YouTube, we can talk about this. So, on TikTok, you know how TikTok allows above your little logo, you can do a tagline. You could do like a little short Twitter-like statement limited to like 40 characters or whatever it is. So dummy me, how my stupid brain works. I remember that scene from Apocalypse Now. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're entering the Lincoln Park Zoo here. This is a free zoo. We got 12:11 in the PM here, 42 degrees, Chicago, Illinois, United States, America, planet Earth, Lincoln Park Zoo. So you remember the scene from Apocalypse Now where he just passed away, Robert Duvall. He plays the commanding officer for the air cavalry, the helicopters that fly in Apocalypse Now to the village, to the Wagner music. And then later in that scene, a very famous scene from Apocalypse Now, where they napalmed the village, and he says, smell of napalm in the morning smells like victory, a very famous quote. But then right after that, he says, someday this war is going to end. And most people, my dad was in Vietnam, and it was such a shocking, almost like throwaway scene. But to me, that's the most memorable part of that scene, because he says it with such sadness, because he loved fighting that war. He loved that he was able to be in a war theater and be able to take it to the enemy, or the brave soldiers that we do have a professional, the strongest military on earth, and people were proud to be part of it, and he certainly was. I think his name was, I forget what his name was in the movie, but the Robert Duvall's character. This is the lion exhibit at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Let's go see if the bears are out. We'll go see if the bears are out up here. Yeah, he was in THX 1138. Yeah, he was in that. That was a futuristic dystopian movie. Yeah, he's been in several movies. But on TikTok yesterday, I put, someday this war is going to end, referring to the current conflict with ... which meaning, new boss, same as the old boss. Every president, Clinton with Yugoslavia and Somalia, Bush with the response to 9/11, the Iraq 1, Iraq 2. Actually, his dad, Iraq 1, I remember first Iraq War in 1990. That was the most successful one, but they didn't finish the job because they left Saddam Hussein in power. Iraq War 2, 2003. Of course, Afghanistan started almost immediately after 9/11. We were in Afghanistan right after 9/11, 2001. And then those Iraq didn't end until I guess Obama's second term. The Afghanistan didn't end until Biden's term. It was a very messy withdrawal, very embarrassing, people running to the embassy, people falling from the planes. It was a very chaotic end, as they knew it would be. And every politician promises not to get us involved in stupid Mideast foreign wars. Every president cannot resist the temptation. Obama was seriously faulted, and this could have been correct criticism against going into Syria. Remember that when he did not go into Syria, and there was Americans being beheaded, and it was very ISIS and all that stuff. So I put in TikTok, I said, someday this war is going to end. And they censored it. They removed it. They would not let me post someday this war is going to end on TikTok. And that was American censorship, an American company, not China, censoring an American, the son of a guy that fought in Vietnam, or was drafted and served honorably for the U.S. Air Force. And I'm sure you saw, I know I'm missing a bunch of comments. Has anybody seen and I know he's a politician. He's now ex-military. He's a Marine. He's running for this vacated Senate seat in North Carolina. And now if you agree with his protest actions or not, since he in uniform, a very, very brave thing or cowardly thing to do, depending on how you view what he did. Yesterday, or was it the day before, he stood up in a congressional hearing, and I won't repeat the statement he made, but he made a statement protesting the Iran war in its military uniform, and quickly, because they probably knew they knew they were monitoring him, because they knew he was probably going to make an incendiary statement, because they know he's running for Congress or running for Senate, and they immediately tackled him, tried to drag him out of the room. His arm got broken. Some people say his hand. I think his arm got broken because it got caught in the gore jam. And more significantly, the U.S. senator, you know, a lot of these senators now are mixed martial artists like Mark Wayne Mullen and others. And they, he was part of, I don't know if they're going to sue a U.S. senator for physical assaulting a U.S. Marine veteran. It's very interesting to see how this is going to, and of course the military veteran, he's going to have to, they press charges against him for assaulting a Capitol Police officer. So a U.S. Marine was, they have no problem charging a U.S. Marine for assaulting Capitol Police, but not the January 6ers. We know what. So I'm more free to talk about this stuff on YouTube. That's why thanks for being because if I talk about this on TikTok, I'm pretty sure I'll get a violation. Here's, just joined, we're in the Lincoln Park Zoo. This is called the Regenstein African Journey. It's in the Lincoln Park Zoo, and we walk through here. We'll check out the exhibits here. Yeah, you saw that, Ernie? You saw that, Ernie? I'm glad you saw that. And that was a U.S. senator was involved with that, where he ran and made sure he helped out the Capitol Police. And take notice of all the people. Only Rand Paul was the only, even though he's a libertarian, he caucuses for the Republican, he was the only Republican to vote with the Democrats on limiting the president's war powers. So when we get to the midterms, remember every single one that voted to not restrain the president. They can't be trusted, as far as they're told. The Senate and Congress are totally relinquishing their power to their Article 1 duties that they swore an oath to only Congress can declare war. And the longer this war goes on, the more questions there'll be about this. Hey, you can plug into the tree here. They got a USB port. You can get your internet and get your right from this tree. There. So here's the Diana monkeys. Here's the waterfall. How you doing, Ernie? So I'm working from home today, so I'm at the zoo here. So yeah, TikTok censored all I said was someday this war is going to end, referencing, and the stupid AI didn't know what I was referencing and thought, I'm sure it read all kinds of stuff to it. So here's the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Hey, there's one on the glass. Sorry, if you don't like bugs, I don't mean to freak you out. You know, they're harmless. They're behind glass here. They can't even hurt you, but I know it's icky to see all the roaches, termite mound. You see that power out? Yeah, Ernie knows about the zoo. Ernie knows the zoo better than I do. Wes, how you doing? Yeah, Tim Sheehy, that's his name. He's from Montana or something. He's from somewhere out west. He's a U.S. senator. So imagine, you know, the questions he's going to get when he's running for him. Why'd you break the arm of a Marine soldier? You know, he deserves. Hey, the hippo's out. Hey, the hippo. Here we go. Look, Ernesto, the hippo's walking around. This is good. So I'm going to sit right here. Let's hang with the hippo. I'm going to sit on this little seat. See, isn't this nice? Even in wintertime, that's why I consider this part of the park. Here, I can go and sit next to a pygmy hippopotamus and watch it walk around. These are my pets. Here's the pygmy hippopotamus, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois, walking underwater. Yeah, it's pretty active here. Yeah, Montana senator. Yeah, TikTok assumes you know. You could hear it break. Yeah, I mean, imagine, and that's a tough Marine there. His arm got broken. He didn't scream or nothing. He was in pain when they got him into the other room, and they finally got him medical attention. I think he's going to have surgery. So I'm glad everybody saw that. It went viral, of course. Several different vantage points. There's several videos circulating. And at first I thought it was AI because we can't believe anything, but it's been verified. It really happened. And other people witnessed it. And there's multiple people recording it. See, you got multiple cell phones recording it from different angles. That's how you can tell it's not just one AI generated fake news story. But here's the hippopotamus, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We got 1221. Isn't that so relaxing? I could sit here all day and just watch this hippopotamus just gracefully pace back and forth. Yeah, it gets a little breath of air. They can hold their breath. Oh, the hippo. Yeah, you never know what's AI. So this is a real hippo, pygmy hippopotamus. Where are the hippos? They're right there. How you doing there, hippo? I like your tail. Look at the tail of the hippopotamus there, yeah. So hey, have a good day there, hippo. We're going to go see if the meerkats are out, and we'll see if the giraffes are out. So Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for joining me here at the Lunch Bunch. So hey, let's keep on going. So here we go. What do we got here? We got the Klipspringer red-billed hornbill. Here's the Klipspringer. So these look like baby deer. They're fully grown adults, but this is what they look like. They got the little hoofs and little horns, and sometimes they climb on rocks. See, this one's going to climb. Here comes one over here. So here's the two Klipspringers. They're eating their food. It smells me. It says, "Oh, hey, you getting some food there? Yeah, get some food there, little deer." It's hard to. Let me get through the. There we go. We get through the fence here. How you doing there, Klipspringer? You're beautiful. These little cutie patooties. Yeah, you're eating the straw. Got your lunch there. It's hard to film through the chain link fence. Here we go. There we got a bead on him. You want a hippopotamus for Christmas? Yeah, I think of that song too. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only hippopotamus will do. I don't want something stinker toy. Hey, there's some birds in there. Okay, let's see if the giraffes are eating their lunch. See if the meerkats are out. Lincoln Park Zoo. There you get your photo. Hey, we'll look out here. I don't think they're outside. It's 42 degrees, so they're probably inside. Playing zebras. See if the meerkats are out. Yeah, they're cute. 9 months, it's the countdown to the midterms, yeah. Hey, meerkats, how you doing? Oh, the meerkats, they're all hugging there. How you doing, meerkats? Here, let's zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in, there we go. Oh, there's the meerkats, how you doing? You're all huddled up there. Yeah, let's see if we can get on the other side here. So sometimes we see the giraffes there. I don't see the giraffes, but maybe they'll come out. Here, we'll check out the meerkats. Oh, the meerkats, they're always hugging. And see, there's these over here. It's trying to get in between those two, and they won't let them in. It's trying to get warm. It says, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. It's trying to tackle that other one. I don't know what it's doing. It's trying to get in between the two. They don't want him in there for some reason. They're having a mosh pit. How you doing, meerkats? Yeah, what do you say? So here, we'll come back to these guys. We'll see if these... There's three over here. There they are. These ones look smaller, but these are a different group of siblings. They keep them separated because there's one down below us there. There we go. Hey, you're on your box there. Here's your meerkat. Yeah, see how they stand up? They look around just like prairie dogs. Meerkats. Hey, went in this little hole. Hey, there it is. What do you say? Thanks for saying hello. Meerkats, Lincoln Park Zoo. We got March the 5th, 2026. Yeah, relaxing zoo trip. Yeah. What do you say there, buddy? Yeah, sniffing the air. So I don't see the giraffes. They're probably, maybe they might be the other side of the outside. So we'll go see if the grizzly bears are out. I've been having really bad luck with the grizzly bears. Hey, meerkats, you want to say hello? Hey, you coming over here? Hey, you standing up? Looking around, stretching out? Yeah, come on over here. Say hello. Hey, the stock market's selling off. It was amazing because, you know, the oil market's kind of stabilized a little bit yesterday, but they're selling off again now because there's no guarantee. Here, I'll wait till we get through here. Sometimes I lose my connection in this cave. There's no guarantee that they can protect the ships going through the Straits of Hormuz. I know the president wants to give insurance to but you know, it's just going to draw more attacks because, you know, we're like telegraphing where we're going to be. You know, we're going to be escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. And if you look at a map, that's why Iran at such a strategic spot. Here, market me quote. And so because the stock market's selling off, I'm selling some things at a profit today. And so I have to check my other phone because I am short the market, but I'm not selling everything. I'm just selling a little bit at a time and then reassessing the situation every day when the market closes in the after hours. So here, let me check my other phone here. I want to see how much. Yeah, I got to set some more stops here. So hold on a second here. I'm going to put the camera down and I'll let you guys watch me. Well, let's see if the polar bear. Let's see if the polar bear's down here. I think I can still walk and do this. Here, hold on a second. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. So where we at here? I got to see my level here. You notice I had to do this back when the remember when the market was selling off after the tariffs, the first tariffs. But this is a different reason. This is because of military conflict. There we go. So yeah, this is the habitat for it used to be for the polar bears. Now they got it for the grizzly bears, but I don't see the grizzly bears down here, so we'll head back around. And Christopher, how you doing? Yeah, last year, you remember that? Yeah, when the tariffs first hit in April, there was a lot of volatility in the market, but not much since. Not even now with this, I expected to be much more volatility, but people are already buying the dip. And there's not really a dip yet. Bears traded DJ Moore to Buffalo. Oh, really? Huh. The Bills? Well, thanks for the info there. It's yeah, thanks for keeping tabs on the Bears. Yeah, how's the weather in New York? I think New York was really foggy. At least Washington, D.C. was really foggy. We were foggy yesterday, too. We were foggy earlier this week. That snow's all melting. It's warming up everywhere. Yeah, not a lot right now. Yeah, Tom Bot's tuning in. Aisha, thanks for tuning in. I missed you before. Thanks for tuning in, Aisha, Christy, and Ernie. Thanks so much for the gift there, Aisha. I appreciate it yesterday. So here's where the grizzly bears have their habitat. And as expected, it's very hard to find the grizzly bears. We saw them out once last fall, but I haven't seen them out since. And we stop here many times. There's something. Either they're hibernating, or maybe it's just they're hibernating. I think that's probably what it is, which would make sense. Still raining in Kentucky? Yeah, Christy, how you doing? Cloudy in Albuquerque? Yeah, it's cloudy everywhere. It's cloudy here too. So yeah, they got it all blocked off, so they can't see each other. See, here's the only snow in Chicago. Is just this little frosty pane they got there that makes the snow. But they're worried about the polar bear, the female polar bear seeing the two female grizzly bears and getting into it. Yeah, Aisha, Tombot, Dolores, Barbara Berg. So I said, can I start talking about global warming when it's 70 degrees? Again, we had 360 degrees in February in Chicago. The Talini, the polar bear, is adjusting to recent arrival of the 2 brown bears. So that's why she's separated. Let's see if she's out here. There's, her name's T-A-L-I-N-E, Talini. Polar bear. She's probably hibernating too. I guess polar bears hibernate too, right? All bears hibernate. Wintertime. Here, this is the veterinary clinic for the zoo. I learned that by watching Ernie. This is the veterinary. It's 2 levels. It goes down. There's a basement underneath that opens up to the parking lot on the other side. And here we got 1231. Yeah, let's go check out the birds. So there's the McCormick Bird House. It's nice going here in the wintertime because you can get inside and get warmed up. Check out some birds. Yeah, we're by the Penguin Cove. We'll check out the penguins first. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, let's hope maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see some penguins since we didn't see any bears. And then we'll head down towards the lions after we go through this birdhouse. So hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in here. Just working from home today. See, we got 39 people. I figured that's the core lunch bunch. Thanks for being a part of it. And somehow I ruined my YouTube adventure. The algorithm's punishing me. I'm in the... It could have been something as simple as I filmed the flyover Chicago and it didn't like that. Or it didn't like me taking the train. Who knows? Or it just doesn't like me. Here's there's the penguins. Yeah, we got some penguins. So here's the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Here's your penguins on March the 5th, 2026. They're just hanging out there. One time we were here, they were feeding them. That was nice. Hey, it's itching its foot there. Happy feet. Yeah, here's the penguins. Oh, shake your little tail feather. Yeah. See, they got a nice place they can swim. They got their little caves they can go into. Here's all the penguins at the Lincoln Park Zoo. There you go, penguins. How you doing? Yeah, Christy, I talked to 2 representatives, and basically what they told me, they said my audience is getting tired of me doing this. You know, I went to New Orleans. I was like, look, I went to New Orleans. I changed up my content. I wasn't doing the same thing. And they're like, but I wonder if it's something about the war. Like they didn't like how I was talking about politics. But you'll never be able to prove it because their lawyers are so good. You'll never be able to prove if you're shadow banned or not. But we were consistently going from 10 to 20, 30,000 people over an hour would see it, and I was appreciative to YouTube because they were pushing. Bottom line, TikTok is a much more favorable platform for live streamers than YouTube. You could talk to any live streamer. There's plenty of live streamers that have plenty of success on X and TikTok or even Twitch that try to live stream on YouTube and have horrible experiences. That's why I commend Christopher Dotson, who tunes in here from New York and is a live streamer himself. He streams majority on YouTube, which is good. It's harder to get a following, and he's got a following on YouTube, which is good. Here's the warthogs, the Red River hog. Here's your Red River hog. Oh, it's rooting around. Hey, it's rooting in the mud. How you doing there, Red River hog? Red River hogs are most active at night when they forage in groups for everything from fruit and seeds, insects, and carrion. These Red River hogs are from Africa, so this is like Pumbaa. This is like Pumbaa from the Lion King that hung out with Timon. This is the warthog. How you doing there? Hey, you saying hello? I like your snout there. Yeah, you got a nice big long nose there. You've been rooting in the mud. There's the cute. Hey, you doing? Yeah, he's looking at us. Yeah, thanks for checking out YouTube. There's your Red River warthog. Hey, it's smiling at you. You smell my stench here? Yeah. How you doing? I like your whiskers. Yeah, walking around here. I know you got a friend there. You sniffing anything in the mud? So hey, the Red River hog, that's where they live. Hey, that was the best footage we got of the Red River hog in a while. Grandma's Corner, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, so maybe the notification. So I'll look into that. Maybe I that's a good thing. Maybe I accidentally turned off the notification. I'll look into that. See, I might have done something wrong on my end, and that's why I was talking to the YouTube. They looked at my account. They didn't tell me that. I told them that. I told them that. I said people were not getting notified, and people couldn't tell I was live streaming. And I said, "Am I doing anything wrong?" They looked. They said, "No, everything's fine." But I think people are not getting the notifications, and I think you're right. And that's why I notice, we would get more people too, and that's why it's easier to get to 100 likes if more people can see it initially early in the stream, and then it snowballs. But we'll get it back. We'll get it back. That's what, yeah, Christopher. Anytime you take a vacation, like you came to Chicago, anytime that you could do anything out of your normal routine, isn't it so funny? And that's why, like Tom Powell, he's great. I like Tom Powell. If you got a home studio where you just sit there behind the mic, YouTube loves that. They want to produce a bunch of more Joe Rogans, or whatever. But if you walk around and rely, the people I talked with at YouTube, they act like I was an alien. They were like, "Well, check your Wi-Fi connection." I said, "I walk around the city." I said, "I'm a live streamer." They were like, "What's that?" They didn't even know what it was. I'm like, you got a whole genre of people like Christopher Dodson in All Day New York City, and Duran there in LA, where they're out in the streets there on their one wheel, or we need cell towers. We can't rely on a Wi-Fi connection. They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, oh my God. So I'm not expecting them to understand what the problem is. Here's Bird's Eye Bar and Grill, Lincoln Park Zoo. I don't see the lions out. Maybe they're on the other side. But carcass present. There's a carcass in its habitat. So I don't see the carcass. So maybe it's on the other side. So let's walk through the lion exhibit. They're steam cleaning the Landmark Cafe. But yeah, we got about 42 degrees here, 1238. Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. Don't worry. That's why it's good that we got backup. I'll stay on TikTok until we get over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and then we'll reassess the situation. Here's Pepperidge Family Wildlife Center, the zoo, the lion house, Lincoln Park Zoo. There's the restrooms. Ernesto can tell you about the haunted restrooms. Ernie knows about this building. This is a really old building. I think it was initially constructed in 1914, and they renovated it. They completely shut it down and changed around how the exhibits. There used to be exhibits on this side that they removed. You can go underneath the lions exhibit. Let's see if here's the lions. They're all over here. So hey, we're going to see some lions. Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, they're all on the rock there. So it looks like they already got their lunch. They're just all watching TV there. Hey, here's the lions lying around. Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, the whole pride of lions there. Look at that. So let's check them out there. How you doing there, lion? Oh, look at that. You're beautiful. Yeah, you just snoozing there, taking a cat nap. Yeah, the big lions back there. There's all the lions taking a siesta. Hey, Michael, eating with the lunch brunch. Christy, 100K? Yeah, I'm not taking it for granted. I know, like Anita and other people, they said, don't just throw away your audience. You got a big audience there on TikTok, and I appreciate it. It's just I didn't know what was going to happen with the Oracle, and there was some censorship. And I told you about the censorship. I just posted someday this war is going to end. ... And they wouldn't let me post it. They removed it. Like I thought it was posted and it just disappeared. So that's why I said TikTok censor in my tagline, because they did. But there's the lions, the Cobbler Lion House. Covler, whatever it's called. Just chilling with the lions. Yeah. So let's see if let's go to the small primate house. This is the Helen Brock Primate House. There's a food court in there. VPN to access TikTok. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Aisha. I wish you would think that, you know, America was so concerned, just like India, about the Chinese spying and whatever they were doing. And now we got an American version of TikTok, but it doesn't help you in India, you know, yeah, you got to use VPNs and stuff. And even if you use the TikTok, you might not have the same version of TikTok that we have here now, because we're kind of bifurcated. And that was the whole point. Here we're in the small primate house. They got the waterfall here. This is the pied tamarin. Let's see if we see the pied tamarin. This is what they look like. So you see the tamarin everywhere. I'm not good at finding the animals that they're hiding. There's a nice waterfall here. It's a nice habitat. Probably hiding in the back here. Let's see if we see these Francois Langurs. I like their hairdos. But they must be in the back. I don't even see them here. A lot of times they sit up by the window. But here, we'll keep going. Maybe the gibbons will be out. The gibbons are pretty entertaining if they're active. Swinging around. They're so cute. There, DeBraz's monkey. There, none of the monkeys are out. There, it's over there. I see the tail. So let's see if we get a view of the DeBraz's monkey here from the side. See, it's right there. It's not looking at us. There's the tail. The DeBraz's monkey. He's got a big long tail. They got nice beards. That's what they look like, DeBraz's monkeys. I'm gonna keep going until we find some real life animals here. That's the drawback of going to the zoo. There's no guarantee that the animals you want to see are out. When, you know, you got to go back multiple times. You know, howler monkeys. Now off exhibit. Yeah, here's the gibbons, the white-cheeked gibbon, the large gibbon.
Very active too.
Yeah, no, I work nearby, so sometimes
okay.
break out, I can walk through and.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the gibbon. How you doing there, gibbon? Look at that. You're so cute. How you doing?
She's staying nice and still for you.
Yeah, nice photo opportunity. Yeah, these are so cute when they're active. They swing around and go outside, and yeah, I heard you talk about it. That's good. Hey, how you doing? You're looking right at me. That's good. Yeah, one time I was lucky to be here, and there was a woman, and it kept going up to the window and going, ooh! And everybody was laughing, and it just kept going. It was great, man. How you doing? Oh, look at that face. How you doing there, Gibbon? Yeah, you're cute. Looking right. How you doing? Yeah, Christopher Dodson, you're doing well. Thanks for covering New York City. So here, we'll keep on going. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. So here, let's see what we got here. There, these are the Colobus monkeys. There they. Oh, there's one up there. They sit up by the window. Oh, there is. Oh, go. Thank you. Yeah, look at the tail. You got such beautiful tails. Thank you. The Colobus monkeys. There, it's sitting in the tree. Look at that bushy tail. Always I wonder if they brush their tails. Look at that. There it is. Sleeping. So, black and white Colobus monkeys. I used to call them Columbus monkeys, but I said it wrong. Allen swamp monkey, hanging out in the swamp. So, yeah, let's see if the flamingos are out. And we'll see if the, what time we got? 12:45. Well, since we're so close, let's quickly go through the large ape house, the gorillas and the chimpanzees, and we'll quickly blow through here, and then we'll see the flamingos on the way out. But we just went into the Helen Brock Primate House, Lincoln Park Zoo. And this is not of course, the Brookfield Zoo in the western suburbs is larger. They're renovating it. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo, the one in the city. So this is a free zoo to go to, but you have to pay for parking. I think the Brookfield Zoo is free to park, but you got to pay to go to the zoo. So it just depends on if you bring your car or not. There's western lowland gorilla. That's what we're going to see once we get inside this. I think it's called the Regenstein Primate House. They donate a lot to this zoo. Yeah, see you, Grandma's Corner. Thanks. Yeah, I got to go to the eye doctor. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, you get your prescription. That's good. Hopefully everything's okay. Good. So you can always watch the reruns. That's the good thing about YouTube. If you miss any part of this, go to the live tab. You can watch the full live rerun if you want to see certain animals or see what I said. Here's yeah, we'll head up here. Regenstein Center for African Apes, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We got 42 degrees. So they got this huge outdoor space. Opens at 10 a.m. So let's see if they're sleeping or eating their lunch. There he is. He's sitting right there. Silverback. Look, he's hanging on the. How you doing? He's hanging on the vine there. There you can see me. That's me waving. I'm in the mirror. See, look, I'm with the. I'm in the mirror there. There it is. Wow, it's looking at us. How you doing there? Very nice. Yeah, there's another one back there too. So, the Regenstein Center for African Apes here, Lincoln Park Zoo. Thanks for tuning in to see if the chimpanzees are out. First, we'll check out these guys. There we go. These are gorillas still. The troop, there's all their names. Kwan, Bahiti, Raleigh, Mandika, and Djike. There they are. Look at this one. It's in the hammock there. That's a very comfortable spot there. You get in the hammock. Yeah. There's one up there. There, that's a nice balcony. Sit up there on the perch, contemplating the meaning of life. How you doing there, gorilla? Sleeping? You just, yeah, relaxing. Oh, there's one up there. There's one way up there. Oh, look how they use their feet. They use their feet like the hands there. Look at that. There, spin that around. Says, what is this thing? Oh, it threw it down. It threw it down. There's enough of that. I'm tired of playing with this. So here, let's see. Here, there's the these are the chimpanzees. The chimpanzees are up there. Here, look at this one. This one's playing with the little toy. Yeah, you got their enrichment there. Trying to figure it out. Let's go over there. Yeah, let's go over there where they're at. There it is. Yeah. Wow. How you doing? Very nice. There it is. Yeah. Let's sit right here.
These are cool.
So the chimpanzees, Lincoln Park Zoo, eating the peanuts. Yeah, the zoo. Yeah, there's all kinds of like peanuts and food and carrots they throw out all over, and then they pick them off the ground. They kind of forage all throughout the day. Crystal Lake, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Crystal Lake, yeah, suburbs, Chicagoland. Alvin, how you doing? Yeah, checking out the chimpanzees at the zoo. Just eating some food here. We got 12:50 in the p.m. Hey, come on over here. Yeah, look, it's playing with the toys there. I guess they put food in there and they have to dig it out. So that's part of their enrichment. I learned that from Pizza Lisa. She knows about zoos. So does Ernesto. The guy can stand up. Yeah, see you, Christy. Have a good. How you doing there? Come on over. It's going over there. So they got their nice habitat here, the chimpanzees in the Lincoln Park Zoo. Let's see what's going over here. There it is. Yeah. Oh, look, it's in the you can't see. There it is. It's making a bed. It's looking for food is what it's doing. Here it comes. Hey, get on the log there. It's just doing its stump speech. Picking your nose. Ah. So hey, let's keep on going here. Yeah, the little scientist. Yeah. So I got to go back to work. What a bummer. So we'll spend the next 10 minutes exiting the zoo. And thanks for, if you missed any of this, you can go to the live tab there on YouTube. Thanks for checking out part of the zoo. We got 42 degrees here, not too bad. I think the rain's kind of done for the day, hopefully. So we'll do a live stream after 5 p.m. tonight on TikTok, and we'll just tootle through the neighborhood, and we'll probably go back downtown tomorrow. I think it's supposed to rain in the middle of the day, so maybe if it's not raining in the morning, we'll head downtown because it's supposed to be nice and warm. If it's raining at lunch, we'll go underneath. We'll go to the lower levels or do the pedway or something. Here's the zebras. There's the zebras eating their food. How you doing there, zebras? Let's see if I can zoom in here. There's the zebras at Lincoln Park Zoo, eating out of their manger. So there's 2 zebras there, and there's 1 zebra over there. Yeah, the zebras. Fruit stripe gum. How you doing there, zebra? Yeah, I like your mane. Mane. There, 2 zebras eating their food. They're not fighting over it either. That's good. Chowing down, put it on the feed bag. Yeah, hay's for horses and zebras. So it's called the Gravy Zebra here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, what I'd like to order number 1. So the zebras. Animals depend on people too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nice tour. Thanks for checking it out, Eric. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up, and everybody appreciate it. We'll get my YouTube back. It's just we'll give it time to reset, and you know, it's working with TikTok. I went away TikTok for 6 months. Now we're getting hundreds of people tuning in on the live streams. It's good. TikTok is good for live streaming. I'll give it that. And I guess I gotta not bite the hand that feeds me there, but I don't expect to make any money from these platforms anymore. People are saying they're not even getting their tip money. It's getting weird. We knew it was. Just wait till we have a real recession. But we'll keep an eye on gas prices here. Yeah, the Talkins. Yeah, the Talkins are over there, and they're over by the. There's the dog. That's very nice. It's a service dog. Only service dogs are allowed to zoo. So unfortunately, I don't have time to see the Talkins. We'll do that some other time. Same with the kangaroos. I have bad luck with the kangaroos, like the bears. Every time I go to try to film the kangaroos, they're not out. Wintertime, they want to be in Australia. Here's the flamingos. Hey, at least the flamingos are out. We'll check out the pink flamingos as we round out our little trip here to the zoo. Here's the flamingos. Yeah, eating the shrimp, shaking their heads, standing on their leg. How you doing there, flamingos? You look nice. Very pink. Yeah. Chilean flamingo. Yeah. Next time. Yeah, we'll see it next time. Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate it. Yeah, sorry I don't have time to get to it. Wherever you go, there's always people are like, go a little further, go a little further. I appreciate your interest. Let's see if the swans are out here. Yeah, the swan. There's the swan. We'll head around this way. So this is I call this the swan pond within the Lincoln Park Zoo. They got this bridge, and there's 2 swans here. There's always been 2 swans. I think the oldest animals, they always had 2 swans and a bear. But they don't always have a bear. They have a bear, 2 bears now because they're on loan from the Madison, Wisconsin Zoo. There's the swan pond. And the seagulls like it here, the ducks. Ducks have mostly left. There was a bunch of ducks here in wintertime, but the ducks must have moved somewhere else now that there's open water other places, so they just come here in wintertime. Here's the reptile house. There's a big greenhouse we go in sometime. Remember we saw the bush baby in there? And you can go inside there. We don't got time again. I'm heading out of the zoo. It smells like pine trees. Here's the willow trees. The willow trees are some of the first trees to get green, so we'll keep an eye on those as the weather starts to warm up. Oh, got a notification that Trump fired Kristi Noem. Nisi G, thanks for the breaking news. So let's check my other phone. I'm sure that'll be breaking news. Let's see if we can confirm that. I believe you. I just want to see it with my own eyes here. So let's see. Yeah, Trump, look. Nisi G, breaking news. Look, Trump administration, this is New York Times. Trump administration President oust Noem as Homeland Security Secretary. Wow. So I guess that other guy will probably run it now. Let's see what it says. President Trump announced Thursday, that's today, March the 5th, 2026. He was firing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and wonders Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. He wants a senator? He wants Senator Mark Wayne Mullen? Oh my God. Mark Wayne Mullen's very controversial. He's like the mixed martial artist guy. He's a big MAGA supporter from Oklahoma. He announced it on social media. So I guess the Senate will have to approve a senator being head of Homeland Security. That is weird. DHS shut down. The House plans to vote on restoring funding to the Department of Homeland Security. It's 3rd week. So this might end the shutdown. So lest we forget the government's still in a shutdown. Because of this war, it doesn't seem like it. There's the service dog. That's good. So here's the swan pond. Remember when we saw that dog looking at the snow leopard? I got that footage. If you want to see that, it was the snow leopard was checking out the service dog. Yeah, it'll be the same. I know it'll be the same, but it's just. What do you think? What do you think about Mark Wayne Mullen? That's very weird. That why would a senator do a cabinet level position when he's also a senator? Is he still going to be a senator? He's going to do 2 jobs at once. All beauty, no brains. Yeah, Aisha, it's hard. I hear your comment. Yeah, I'm embarrassed as an American because, I know people domestically for the America First people, they'll be like, screw the rest of the world. We'll do what's in our interest, but we're gonna piss off everybody, all our allies, including India. Yeah, okay. So I'm sure in your news that Iranian ship that was sunk off of the coast of Sri Lanka was in international waters. Here's the seal, and that's the first ship that the United States sunk in international waters since World War II. How you doing, seal? How you doing? Hey, here's the seal at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, thanks for checking that. Swimming along there. But that's why I reposted that. Somebody made a nice observation. If you ever ridden the CTA trains in Chicago, you know how you'll be sitting in a car minding your own business, you got your headphones on and you're just trying to get home from work, and then somebody will go from car to car. Usually it's a panhandler. They'll go from car to car and they go between those doors in between the cars, and sometimes you're like, oh crap, they're going to start talking to me, and everybody in the car tenses up. And then, that's he made the analogy, that's America right now. We're breaking the rules, and everybody's like, what are you going to do next? And all the civics classes I learned about the Article 1 responsibilities of Congress, and people in Senate and Congress, they're like, oh, we're so relevant because only Congress can declare war. And every time they get a chance to use that power, they give it up to the president, even if it's a Democratic president or Republican president. They're doing it now for the current president because we got this big, strong military, and any president can't resist from trying to use it for whatever political, wagging the dog or distracting or, trying to do regime change when they said they weren't going to do regime change. So how are you going to have any credibility? But it doesn't matter. All it matters is that the stock market doesn't sell off. And if your gas prices don't go up, people forget about this. That's how America needs to realize that we're not as isolated as we think we are. Here's Schiller. We learned that in World War II. Here's the Schiller statue in Lincoln Park. So, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks. She was having an affair. Yeah. Was it with Corey Lewandowski? That's why, Nisi G, did you see when the latest congressional hearing with Kristi Noem, they pulled up the picture of the bed on the plane, and she was like, oh, and I wonder if that's where her and Corey Lewandowski, they probably were getting off. And they were like, "Look, the taxpayer expense. We're having an affair here in the bed of the plane that the government's paying for." They also found that a no-bid contract was given to a company to do, the stupid ads you see that promote ICE and promote Homeland Security. They paid like some Republican donor a bunch of money, taxpayer money, to produce a video, and it's just somebody's house. It's not a movie studio or nothing. And it's very shady. It's like the giant bag of money they gave to that sheriff out west. And they're like, oh, this is not a bribe, when it is a bribe. They expect us to be that dumb. No, I'm not lying to your face. Anyway, we'll get off of this. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so what we're talking about, Kristi Noem, we confirmed it on the New York Times there. They said President just ousted Kristi Noem, wants to replace her with Mark Wayne Mullen, a senator from Oklahoma. That is weird. So we'll see how that progresses, and the chaos continues. But hey, thanks for checking out the Lincoln Park Zoo. Her husband was there yesterday. It's about time. So hey, thanks Aisha, thanks Scott and Charlotte, Women Life Freedom, Luna Star, Lorraine Boyd. Thanks everybody. Michael Rodriguez, Doreen, DCG, all my mods, and Luna Star. So hey, we'll have a good rest of your day there, and we'll see you after 5 on TikTok. Thanks a lot. Hey, look at the fog. Look at the fog over the John Hancock. That's kind of how it is there. Okay, see you, Lambie T. Thanks for being on. #1 big Kristi, Aisha, thanks a lot. Okay, JMJ, GMJ, Luna Star. Yeah, Michael Rodriguez. Catch you later. All right, see you, Lambie. Okay.